We are joined today by our friends from Caregiver Volunteers of Central Jersey, and we're talking about a fantastic event, been a part of this in the past, actually did some dancing, if you could call it that, dancing with their stars, Mary Kaba, AKA Glitter Girl, and Bob
Thank
Scott
you.
join us today to talk about this event, which is happening May 25th. Folks, hello.
Hey,
Hello.
Shawn, how are you?
Doing great, guys. Let's just talk about, first of all, I guess let's begin, Bob. Let's have you start. How would you describe Dancing with Their Stars for someone who's never been to the event?
Well, I will tell you, and that's a great question, because originally when I first heard of this thing, I thought it was just going to be a few people dancing around and trying to raise a couple bucks for a good cause. But what I didn't realize is that it's a wonderful cause, and it really brings out a ton of folks and a little bit of competition as well, because your dancers really do have a good time learning. Maybe, it starts off that they just don't want to look bad, and then it turns into, I want to win this thing. And honestly, everybody's winning because we're raising money for the Caregiver Volunteers, which just do so many wonderful things for so many in this area. But basically, you're going to see dancers, people just your regular, never had a dance lesson in their life, thrown in with great costumes, dancing pieces that they practiced with partners, sometimes that they are just meeting for the first time. And it's a great event.
So, Mary, let's take it to you and tell us the where and when for the event. This is happening at a beautiful place, and it's happening next month.
So it is happening at Eagle Oaks in Farmingdale, and it's a beautiful country club, a beautiful venue with a sit down, or rather a buffet dinner. It's open to the public. Money goes towards we're raising money for Caregiver Volunteers, helping seniors who are in their home, perhaps isolated, perhaps getting depressed because they're not getting out, and certainly with the pandemic that had been going on, people who need services such as help with their grocery shopping, maybe getting to doctor appointments, maybe needing some pet therapy or having a veteran talk with another veteran. There are so many amazing services that this organization provides that are free to our seniors, but come at a cost to the company for the cost of business. And I have to say, I was chuckling at what Bob was saying about dancers coming together, maybe practicing and wanting to compete, because Shawn, I'm sure you remember the very first episode of Dancing with Their Stars. Shawn and Sue, our fabulous morning show hosts, were a dance couple. I believe Sue's costume was a tutu, and they kind of just danced around eclectically on the floor, a little bit of skipping to the Wizard of Oz and some of the robot dancing. So maybe not so much in it for the competition, but definitely in it to raise awareness and money. And we thank you for that.
Yeah, we purposely did that not to show anybody else up with our skills, but actually we had no idea what to do. So it was just sort of a very impromptu thing, but it was a lot of fun. But a lot of these couples are spending hours in the dance studio, right, Bob? They're really trying to, they're not going up there to goof. They're going up there to really show everybody up, aren't they?
Well, and that's the fun thing, because there's two sides to this competition, right? You've got your People's Choice Award, and then you have your actual Dancing with Their Stars winner. So the People's Choice Award is really the part that's, really the most important. And this is where you're raising money. And what happens is, everybody out there, I'll tell you, we've got some great dancers. Okay. You got Tim and Lydia, Denise and Billy, Michael, Kimberly, Gian and Bill. You've got Amanda and Harsh, Nika, Casey, Dina, Rich, Alexandra and James, Andrew and Claire, and Pia and Nate. Now, that's a lot of names, but let me tell you what they are. There are a lot of people that are volunteering a ton of time, and they need to raise money. And the way that they do that is, if anybody goes to the caregivervolunteers.org page, okay, they can go to the special events and they can choose their couple that they want to vote for. And it comes, you can vote by a donation, a couple bucks all the way up to $500, and you're buying votes for the People's Choice Award. So that is not really a dancing competition. That's a great little marketing competition. And these guys do it very well. but all along they are working with professional dance studios that are choreographing, cutting the music, and putting together a dance. I think is it 90 seconds or yeah, I think it's 90 seconds. And so, maybe for those of you that have been to dance classes or been in the arts, you understand how this works. But for guys, it's like all of a sudden they throw you into a 90-second thing with a big crescendo and you got to be picking people. It gets out of control. But I'll tell you, man, the last few years, like Shawn, since you've started, it's just gotten bigger and bigger and bigger. The dances have gotten crazier and crazier. Last year, I think Chris flipped. I mean, there were flips going on. It was insane. So yeah, they put a lot of time in, and it really becomes part of their life. And I still remember it from 4 years ago. So I mean, it's a great time. For everybody.
Yeah, the bar keeps going up and up and up. When we started, it was down around the floor, but now it's, way up here now. So it really is something as they get going.
It really is great entertainment for the money and the cause. And as the dancers will tell you, most of us may think, oh, a 90-second dance routine is nothing. But for those who've practiced up to that and they're 90 seconds on the floor, it is everything. They just want to bring their A game. They want to do well. They want who bought tickets to be really entertained and get value for their money. And as Bob said, it's a win-win for everyone because we're raising money and awareness for an amazing cause with a superb mission. So we really hope you'll visit their webpage, caregivervolunteers.org, and check them out.
Yeah, and I got to.
We're talking with Mary and Bob today. Go ahead, Bob. What were you going to say?
Well, it's just it is something because I know right before we had started, we were talking about how the time just passes so quickly, and over these last few years, we've been through this pandemic, and it's like although like we've all experienced this thing firsthand, the feeling of the isolation, of loneliness, but through the pandemic, I just want you to kind of imagine, having experienced every day alone, not being able to go out and get groceries. And yet we had volunteers through, the Central Jersey volunteers that were going out and bringing food to people, really the light at the end of the tunnel for a lot of people during this. They actually, there's over 1,200 volunteers. They fill 30,000 free hours of service every year. And anyone who has been on the other side had to pay for home care, had home care as part of their lives. They understand what kind of savings that is. And it's a big need. So look, it's a fundraiser. We've got to raise some funds. It is, the money is important, but it's kind of nice to know that the money going towards this is going to such a wonderful cause and to people right here in this area,
I was going to say with the pandemic, it really sort of showed the strength of Caregiver Volunteers of Central Jersey because more than usual, these folks were stranded and sort of isolated because not only were they, isolated as they normally might be being a senior living alone, but then you compound that with you can't go anywhere, you can't do this, you can't do that. It really emphasized the power of this organization to help out.
Absolutely.
And this year is going to be super fun. And I'm still annoyed that we didn't have this a couple of years ago, but they are going to let you vote like right up until the end of the competition this year. So, that's like really cool, especially if the drinks are flowing. I think we'll get a couple extra votes, I know the more that you drink, the better I was dancing. So I do understand that.
That's not true. Bob's dance was amazing.
There wasn't enough. Mary, are the tickets still available for the event that night?
I believe there are a few tickets still available for anyone who's looking to get involved, to come and attend. Anyone who wants to donate, they can call Caregiver Volunteers. Their office number is 732-505-2273. And of course, as an organization, they're always looking for more volunteers. Sometimes it's even just making a wellness call to somebody every week, someone who's alone and isolated, just to say, hey, how you doing? And be that friendly voice for them.
And Mary, I'm sure you have plenty of glitter to go around that night if anybody should.
Yes, I'm stocking up now.
Yeah. I don't know if Bob's ever gotten hit up with your glitter, but she definitely has her fair share.
No, yes, that's, Mary, if she's in the room, there's glitter.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. It took me 3 weeks to get all the glitter out, off me finally by the time we got done doing that.
But I think I sprayed it on Sue at request. So that was her.
Oh gosh. And you know what? I do have to say, these events, they really don't happen without the sponsors. And I know Mary, she's being very modest as being one of the main sponsors over, Artist Senior Living in, Eatontown and Brick, Beacon of Life, the Alzheimer's, Respite Care, Harrogate, Atlantic Physical Therapy, the Cider Foundation, Garden State. There's millions and millions of them. And honestly, not millions, there's tons of them, and they make a big difference. And you can see them all on the website. And, these are the companies that are giving, because it's been a tough year for everybody, especially these companies in healthcare. So for them to reach deep into their pockets to make sure these events go, it's important to support them as well.
Very nice. It's happening at Eagle Oaks, beautiful, in Farmingdale. It's happening on May 25th, which is a Wednesday night from 6 to 10. Mary, give out that website again for folks to go, not only to find out more information about the group and services, but also voting for the various dancers and maybe getting tickets as well.
That's caregivervolunteers.org, or you can call their office at 732-505-2273. caregivervolunteers.org. We'd love for you to go visit, check it out, see what it's about, and see how you might want to get involved. Or if you know someone who can use services, please recommend them. It is free to our seniors over 60 in Monmouth and Ocean counties.
Excellent. And if folks want to donate, maybe that night, if you and Bob got together, Mary and Bob were to dance, maybe you could, if they, the money's right, maybe they could get.
We'll do whatever it takes.
That's right. And that you could just Venmo Bob Scott at bobscott.com.
All right. Yeah. Just send it directly there. Don't worry about going through the website. Just Venmo it to Bob. Guys, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you very much.
You want to mention before we go?
Shawn, I wanted to mention if there are any individuals or organizations that would like to donate a gift prize or something for our gift auction, we are still accepting items for that. Another way for us to raise money for people that evening at the event, just reach out to the caregivervolunteers.org or 732-505-2273. And thank you so much to you and Shawn and Sue for your involvement in the community and hosting, great interviews like this so that we can let people know what's going out there in their community to help their neighbors.
Well, to you and Bob, thanks for taking time. Mary, Bob, thank you for taking time today as well to sit down and talk and let people hear about what's going on and see your excitement for this as well. I think this is a nice platform to let people know about the event. So thank you both.
Oh, thank you, man. Big time.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
my wife would kill me if I didn't say she was, she listens to you guys every morning. She was very excited about this. And so no, it is a pleasure. And thank you guys so much.
Tell her.
And now we know Shawn's favorite part of the Easter basket is the hard-boiled egg.
Love the hard-boiled eggs. Love them. So anytime anybody wants to drop off hard-boiled eggs here at the studio, it's anyway, guys, thanks so much for joining us today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Shawn.